Y'all ready for a nightmare?
Hey, I'm gonna go to the library. Do you wanna come along? No thanks. I'm gonna stay home. Okay, I'll see you.
Let's go into the library.
Behind curtain number 1 is correct.
Wait. You don't remember what she looks like?
Hey, just make something up. Oh, what you make is gonna get it.
Stop! What's up, bruh? Scroop my nooples! Scroop them! Scroop my nooples! Welcome to the DynamiteGizmo podcast, everyone. Episode 122! Woo! Woo woo! 122. What it do? Boops. Scroop my nooples. Scroop them. I really need a new microphone. I need one right now. This one, it chooses to be only set at a high volume in order to hear your voice at all. It's either have it at a high volume or really quiet. So I got to keep it right at this setting. But the gain is cranked so loud that any little thing I touch or do causes the microphone picks it up is what I'm trying to say. And it picks it up at, it's not subtle at all. Like it's obvious that it's happening. I'm thinking I should just switch back to my Yeti. That's what I should do. Why don't I just do that? There's nothing wrong with the Yeti. Yucca Yeti! But I wanted to use a microphone like this so I can utilize my audio interface. Audio interface. See? That was loud, wasn't it? What the fuck was that video we just watched? A video by a fella called Jack Stauber. Stauber? Stauber. When I first watched this, I was like, what is this? This doesn't appeal to me. But I was like, it's interesting and it's strange. Okay? And I was thinking, every episode I'm spicing up these podcasts a little more. Haven't really found exactly what I want to get out of these, but I'm getting a good idea of the direction I'm going. Okay? And I raised the level of the camera a bit so you can see the top of the mushrooms now. This is where I want the angle. If I remember to keep it like this, hopefully. Also, at the beginning, I'm having a clip. From now on, every episode's going to have a clip in the beginning of me watching something funky. And that was the funky thing. The Funky Bunch! And this was the funky thing. This nightmarish video. So at first watch through, you kind of don't understand it. But now that I watch it again, I'm saying to myself, look at this crazy. I didn't do the white balance. Can I do the white balance right now? I don't know. Can you do it? Can I do it? One push. Indoor. Ah, don't do that. Give me something white. One push. Can't. Recording. Okay, you suck. Fuck, I keep forgetting to do the white balance. Now I look like an orange potato. A sweet potato. This video is a good example, a good representation of what a nightmare would look like. He did a good job. Let's just watch it again.
Hey. Hey.
So it's right before bedtime. His brother or his dad or whoever the fuck that is shows up in the doorway and says, "Hey, I'm going to the library."
I'm gonna go to the library. Do you wanna come along? No thanks. I'm gonna stay home.
Look at that response. Okay? It's this fucking guy is a depressed little piece of shit who's got social anxiety and he doesn't want to go out. I'm just speculating. I'm just analyzing art here. Don't listen to me, but that's what I think is going on through this little fellow's brain. And look at if you listen to the pause in his answer.
No thanks. I'm gonna stay home.
See? Doesn't that seem like someone who's a little down in life? I mean, I can completely relate to this guy. Look how fucking fat I am. Oh my god.
Okay. I'll see you.
Puts his face in the pillow, falls asleep.
Behind curtain number 1 is correct.
Okay, see, he says, behind curtain number 1. Curtain's open. It's the back of his mother's head. But he doesn't verbally say, Mom. He says, look who's behind curtain number 1. And it says Mom at the bottom. But he doesn't actually say it. And then he goes on to say, correct! If you really think about it, you've had dreams like this. This is a good representation of what a nightmarish dream can look like. Because you don't have to actually say Mom because it's your dream. So you just know that that's what's implied. So those little details are left out. And I love watching stuff like this because this revolves around what my book completely encapsulates. It's all in a dream world. So I love seeing stuff like this that comes out of nowhere and gives me a little inspiration. So let's just go back a bit here. Listen to what this guy says and how he says it and how he doesn't say Mom. But then he says correct right afterwards. And yeah, I know Mom shows up on the bottom of the screen, but I feel like that's a representation just to let the audience know who it is. Right? Because if it didn't say anything or showed any subtitles, then the audience wouldn't know who it was. But the dreamer knows who it is, so the audience has to know who it is. So rather than saying it, they spell it out for you. If that makes any sense.
Behind curtain number 1 is correct.
Wait.
You don't remember what she looks like?
And there you go. Another good representation of what a dream is like. You don't remember what she looks like. So that's why it was initially the back of her head. Because you couldn't process what she looked like. It was just one of those thoughts you have where you just can't remember a face. Spins her around, she has no face. This is where the nightmare begins.
Like. Hey, just make something up.
Just make something up. I like that too. Someone in the audience with a fucked up face says, just make something up. That happens in our brains, does it not? That's why I love this. Because anyone can relate to this. Someone else in your dream tells you to just make something up. That's like your subconscious coming up next to you and being like, hey, I'll help. Just make something up. He's trying to help you out, you know? But this whole coagulation of events is just turning out to be a nightmare.
Oh, what you make is gonna get it.
Wait, what did he say?
Hey, just make something up. Oh, what you make is gonna get it.
He says, I have no idea what he said there. What a great little short film. I just discovered this guy through this video, and I love it. I would love to see more of this guy's stuff. Musician, producer, designer, animator, marketer, antebellist. What is that? Antebellist. Let's see what that is. An antebellist is someone who doesn't like being identified to a common stereotype. A person like this can get easily annoyed by labelers and chavs. They like to make their own personal statements of individualist, as they like being different to the main trend of society. That Burberry hat is so weird. It makes you look like a chaff. Okay, what's a chaff? Picture this. A young lad about 12 years old of age and 4.5 feet high, baseball cap, at 90 degrees in an imitation Adidas tracksuit with trouser legs. What? So what's a chav then? Small, provoking, and annoying little cunt. Cunts that hunt for their prey nightly on the roads of northern Britain. These territorial little rodents can be seen impregnating 13-year-olds, stealing from your garage, walking around in public whilst fondling their testicles, and wearing Burberry caps whilst yelling, "Yo, dickhead." What? Oh! I get it. Damn it, I should have used my fucking Yeti. Gus and Eddie. Their podcast, that's what I've been hooked on lately. The Gus and Eddie Poopcast. Poopcast! Let's check out this Jack Stauber fella. Check out more of what he's got. Just pause the fucking fuck.
I restocked the vinyl.
Oh, wow, available now.
I restocked the vinyl.
What? Oh. This guy kind of reminds me of like a mixture of what the fuck is his name? Why can't I remember his name? That's driving me nuts. Where is it? Was it China or Japan? Why can't I remember this guy's name? Was it Japan? It must have been Japan. Ah, Bill Wirtz. Bill Wirtz. Okay, this Jack fella reminds me of a mixture of Bill Wirtz and... Fuck, I can't remember the other name, for Christ's sake. What the fuck is this? What a garbage piece of shit podcast this is. I don't know, whoever fucking did the claymation shit with the K. Claymation, Pancake Mines, Glass of Water, classics. If you haven't seen these videos that I'm showing up on my screen here, these are classic. The classic of all classic claymation videos you'll ever see. I lived off this stuff for years, and I had a tradition in my... it fucking makes me depressed just thinking about it, but depressed in the way of nostalgia where I wish I could go back. I used to have a tradition every, the days leading up to Christmas, when there was 12 days before Christmas, I would go to Garfield.com and I would do the 12 days of Christmas countdown, because every day they would have a new piece of the calendar available, and you'd open up that day of the calendar and it would play a little part of the song, like a little video of Garfield singing the 12 days of Christmas, and on each day he had a new thing that he would do. But then I would also watch these videos. I did that for fucking 5 years straight as a child. It was... damn, man. Don't you just... Fuck me. Childhood? Why won't it come back? I still have a stuffed up nose, my friend. I still have a stuffed up nose, my friend. I wish I was a black Mexican. Oh, what is this? Is that what this is? I need new sound bites. Give me something good, fellas. Give me something worth listening to.
You guys got any bags of bird ham in here?
We ran out of bird ham.
Yeah, we ran out of more than just bird ham. So I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but I didn't. I made another change to the poop cast. Okay? This room here was going to be referred to as the mushroom. It's the mush room, okay? The moosh room. This is it. This is... Because that is that not a cool name? The mushroom. Man, that's stupid. Couldn't you have come up with something better? I think it's alright, you know? It's kind of fitting. It's kind of already what it should have been. The mushroom. We're in the mushroom. Welcome to the mushroom. Where the DynamiteGizmo shit podcast is filmed. The shit cast. The shit cast. Yeah. My ear's itchy. I've talked about Gustavo Johnson, right? Yeah, I definitely did. I highly recommend the Gus and Eddie podcast. It's a good one. That's all I watch. I'll say it again and again. That's all I do is just watch podcasts. I did watch El Camino though. 'Cause anything Breaking Bad related, you're going to get me onto it. Although I haven't been keeping up with Better Call Saul. I should start watching that. Better Call Saul. El Camino. So here's the deal, folks. I'm not going to say I hated it, but I'm not going to say I loved it either. I mean, whenever it comes to these sequels, prequels, or spin-offs, they're usually never what you expect. Because you're already familiar with the main show. And so you have all these ideas built up in the process of waiting for that movie to come out. You know the movie's coming. You've seen the trailer. But then you start thinking, okay, well, if this is happening, well, what, are they going to address this? Are they going to address that? Is this going to get cleared up? Is that going to get cleared up? What about this? And so you keep hoping for all these conclusions to have some sort of resolution. I guess you're hoping all these open-ended events are looking for resolutions, conclusions. But then the movie comes out, and it meets none of your expectations because none of your observations were addressed, such as Huel. Everyone was talking about Huel, and if he's still in that goddamn safe house. They didn't even mention nor show Huel. So, but they did they referenced him. Breaking Bad itself referenced Huel days prior to the release of the movie. It was as if they were teasing some sort of conclusion with Huel, and they didn't show a damn thing. Even Samsung was tweeting about how excited they were to find out about Huel, and nothing came about that either. And I actually responded to that tweet, and I said, what did I say? I was like, yo, why is Samsung getting involved with this Breaking Bad shit? And they responded to me, and they said, because they're huge fans or something. Let me find the tweet here. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba 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 da ba 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 ba. Oh, maybe it's not here. What a waste of time looking for this shit. I need someone else to do this for me. Let me go to my notifications. I bet I'll find it. We are. There it is. There it is. There. Oh, wait. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Here it is. Okay. Samsung tweeted, Huel, Babanu, MVP, waiting with Huel. And they made a few other tweets about Huel. I said, why is Samsung getting involved in this? Samsung said, we're big fans of the show and wanted to see what actually happened to Huel. So even they wanted to know. And it didn't happen. And so there's that. But then there's also, I felt there were a few things wrong. And I noticed almost instantly. First, right off the bat, there is a... what do you call it? There's like a... what the fuck do you call it? A recap. That's it. They show a recap in the beginning of, what happened leading up to this event, which is basically a summary of all the seasons into one little, minute clip. I appreciate that and the gesture. And I'm expecting a recap. But the only problem with this recap, and pretty well all recaps, is it shoots through all the seasons so quick that, let's say if you're a first-time watcher getting into this El Camino is the first Breaking Bad or anything related to Breaking Bad you've experienced, if you're watching this recap that they put on Netflix, it does not represent the mood or the feeling or the tone of any of the series. It blows by so quick, and it feels like you're watching a soap opera. It feels like you're watching a trailer for a soap opera, which is not the mood of Breaking Bad at all. So that put me off right away. I would have rewatched Breaking Bad to prepare for El Camino, rewatched it. But I was fucking working away and I had no time, so I just gave the recap a chance, and instantly I was like, "Oh, this is not good." But I'm like, "Okay, this is obviously something Netflix did. I don't think Vince Gilligan was involved in that process." So I was like, "Okay, let's give the movie a chance." Starts up. And I can't remember the opening scene. Was it Badger and Skinny P? I don't even remember. But like the first moments watching it, you're like, okay. But you could tell it. Obviously, everyone in the original series wasn't involved in this, or maybe they were, but I didn't. The names, I didn't recognize any of the names. Other than Vince Gilligan. But I could be wrong. But I feel like the acting was different now. And it might be because they're older and they've moved past that for such a long time. But I feel like with Netflix getting involved, the acting of the characters changed. It did not feel as genuine as it did when they were in Breaking Bad, especially the Badger and Skinny P characters. Like, how come all of a sudden Skinny P's in charge and he's got sort of like this, a mind to think on his feet now all of a sudden? Like when they were trying to figure out what to do with the El Camino, Skinny P just came up with the answer right there and they all just went with it. What was up with that? And not only that, why the fuck did they call the movie El Camino? It was not centered around that car at all. I guess you could say, yeah, that was, if it wasn't for that car, he wouldn't have got out of there. But you see that car for the first quarter of the movie, maybe, and then it doesn't really get mentioned ever again. So I feel like the title of the movie could have changed, as well as the acting. But also the welding character, the Candy welding guy. I don't even remember his name. He was like the main villain of the movie, even though the movie had a bunch of flashbacks and it was kind of focused on them more than the outcome of Jesse Pinkman. But when it came to this welding character, who was supposedly a bad guy in Jesse's past. But when the whole time you're thinking, oh, Jesse's obviously going to get revenge on this guy, and you're just waiting to find out what the fuck he did so bad. Because you see in these scars all over Jesse's face and on his back, so the audience is thinking, oh, maybe this guy fucking, I don't know, heated him up with an acetylene torch or something. But then you watch the fucking flashback when it gets there, and it's just him welding on the I-beams that are holding Jesse in place in chains. And Jesse's just kind of running back and forth trying to prove he can't break the chain. And it was like, that's what he did to you? Out of all the shit you went through, that's the big reveal. You know, that wasn't even... Because you got these... Like, the great thing about Breaking Bad is that every new scene, every new episode was groundbreaking far beyond the extent that they went on the last episode. So you watch that episode and it's like you're just sitting there like, oh, what the fuck? Like, it's stuff you've never seen before. And then the next episode is even crazier than the last episode. But then the movie, you know, you would figure the movie would have some crazy ass shit beyond the point of Breaking Bad, or at least up to the same standard. But the villain in El Camino was nobody. He didn't do anything. He literally just welded up some structural pieces and then made a bet that Jesse couldn't break through the structural pieces. And of course he couldn't. But that was it. He didn't even touch Jesse. He's not the one who contrived this whole situation. If anything, Jesse should have been mad at that Armenian dude with the swastika on his neck. So there was that. And then, you know, he goes to get $1,800 from the welder. And then, like, he just decides, like, Jesse doesn't decide. The fucking welder decides, let's draw. Like the fucking Old West days? Like, what? How did you come to this conclusion? Is this how you're trying to prove your manlyhood in front of your buddies here because you fucked up and gave half of the earnings away? Like, it was not that great. Also, now that I think about it, the hiding spot for the money, yeah, it's creative. But it's not. There were so many creative hiding spots and little creative little things you would never think about in Breaking Bad that you would just, like the fridge. That's where you hide them. The fridge? Did they even make reference to the fridge before? I don't even think so. Because the Matt Damon looking fella, I can't remember his name, but he made soup for Jesse in the home. But I don't know. I really didn't enjoy it. The flashbacks were mediocre. God, I hate that I'm saying this about this, but this is how I felt, man. There was no, you know, like when you watched Breaking Bad, every episode that came out was an absolute thrill, not only before the episode started, but after the episode ended, and all in between. The whole time watching it, you're thinking, like, you're standing there with your jaw to the floor, and you think you get to a point where it can't get any crazier, and it just gets crazier. And so you're excited before the episode starts, because you know this team of writers and directors and actors and everyone involved makes such a great coagulation of something to watch that even before the episode starts, you have like it's like you're in the fucking show, dude. Like the adrenaline starts and you get all giddy and excited, and then you go through the episode, it all gets revealed, and it's like, oh wow, it was incredible. And then you're left with a cliffhanger. A perfectly timed cliffhanger. And then the episode ends, and you talk about it with whoever, and it's like, I can't believe this happened, and what's going to happen next, and whatever you predict is going to happen doesn't happen, and something crazier than you could ever imagine happens. But then El Camino comes out, and it's none of this. There's excitement before it starts, because you don't know what you're expecting. But then it jumps into it, right off the bat, bad start. because of this stupid recap. And then you go through and you're seeing the acting's different. It's not genuine. It's fast-paced. There's not enough pauses like Breaking Bad had that gave so much suspense. The flashbacks were just not... They're good. But there was too many, I felt like, that we didn't need. Sure, they summed up the whole story in a specific way, and they had a lot of meaning in them, but I was really expecting to see more of what happened to Jesse. Because we still don't really know what the fuck happened to him. He got in, he managed to find all the money and give it to the vacuum cleaner dude, who died, by the way. Forget his name, Robert something. Anyway, and he gets him to up north in Alaska, and then that's it. He just, like, there's got to be something after that, right? Because that's like the height of his escape. Could they have at least shown him getting out of Alaska? Or if he stayed, did he find a new place? Like, they didn't... I was curious what happened after that. And there was also one other thing. Okay, when he's in that U-Haul type van, in that little section, they lift up the back end. It's just all furniture in there. But then Jesse pops out of that little cubby hole in the van body. Okay? And he's got this fucking massive space heater in there. And it's on. He's in this confined space that's about the size of a coffin. And he's got a space heater at the foot of it. And it fills the whole coffin shape. And it's blasting heat out of him. Like, there's no fucking way the drive from wherever the fuck he was, El Paso. No, where do they live? Well, wait. Somewhere. He's somewhere in the States and he's driving all the way to Alaska. No matter where you're at, it's a long drive. I just can't imagine a space heater like that in a little area not fucking melting him to death. So that's another thing I had. It just is not... It's not what it could have been. And that's what you get, though, with these sequels and such. Other people get involved, and, corporations get involved, and then they want their say, and it's just, it'll never be as good as the original. Never. Ever, ever. Even if they recreated the show with all this, there's no way. Breaking Bad's run its course. I would have rather they just not made the El Camino movie, to be honest. I didn't like it. We could have gone without it. It was not, there was nothing to it. It was just like, it's like making a big pot of stew. And you put all the correct ingredients in, and you've been doing this for years, and you finally figured it out. But then someone comes along and says, you've perfected it. You feel like it's reached its limit, it's reached its height, it's hot enough, and you don't want to take it any further. But then some idiot comes up and says, hey, why don't we see what happens if we add a little bit of paprika in here? And you're like, well, hold on here. I think the stew is right where we need it to be. I mean, Janice, am I right? You gave me a fucking mouthful of water. Yeah, no, don't even go there, all right? I told you last time. I've got the beer, but I want water. I would like to have water. That's what the mug's for, Janice. This is a mouthful. You gave me a little bit at the bottom. I don't waste it. No, I drink it later. I drink it. You can't tell me what to do, Janice. Look, that's my water. It's gone. And no, I don't want you in the shot. So don't even bother. Ah, my back is itchy. Oh. Ah, baby. You ever get so old? I'm not old. Not yet, anyway. But you ever get so old that you just go to wrap your arm around and reach up to the top of your back to scratch, and you get it, but then you bring your arm back and it's like, ow, shouldn't have bent that way. That's what just happened. So I can't even imagine what I'm going to be like at 50. I'm about halfway to 50. Halfway. There's a few other things I want to talk about on here, but I talked about El Camino for quite a while, so I might have to save them for next episode. Let's see how long. We've been going for 42 minuets. Ooh, yeah, so those are going to get talked about next episode. Hey, I've got a bunch of videos lined up, ready to go. I've been collecting these while I've been working away, and I wasn't even thinking about using them on the podcast, but I was like, I should just do it. You know, they're good videos.
I am like the elephant.
He is like the elephant. I would like some. Oh, I passed it. So I can't even use the mouse because the sound travels up through this mic stand and into the microphone, the Macarena. Whoops. Okay, I guess we'll start with this one then. This dude, his name is... Okay, I don't know. Okay, it is Jim Meskimen. He's doing impressions of celebrities. And these are more deepfakes, just like the Bill Hader one I showed. This be another one. But he does multiple impressions back to back. Oh, he does Bryan Cranston? I didn't even notice. Let's notice it this time. He does impressions back to back. His face changes back to back, black to black. So let's watch, because it's cool.
I'm Jim Meskimen, and I wrote a poem about what it feels like to be an impressionist. Is anything more sad
There he is.
and
Waltz.
lame, contemptible, beneath disdain, in short, provoking of disgust, than being an impressionist? A third-rate,
Look
even
how
fourth-rate
smooth.
skill. The definition of cheap thrill. Like watching farm equipment rust is watching an impressionist. Relic from a distant day that long since should have died away. Dishonorably
It's like a
mentioned
shape-shifting
is the
lizard.
pitiful impressionist.
Weird and slightly ostentatious tired debris from old Las Vegas,
Whose former fans have long dismissed allegiance to impressionists.
How many opportunities passed up and wasted because he's
hell-bound to follow what he
Yeah,
must.
boy.
Pity the poor impressionist.
Doomed to live in abject failure, dogged by his own echolalia. Better to crumble into dust than wind up an impressionist.
Did I miss Cranston?
His
There it
borrowed
is.
voices can't deflect a life of well-deserved neglect. His name's on simply no one's lips. Forgotten, vain impressionist.
That sound. Did anybody moan? That creature with the microphone.
Is last on everybody's list. Forgettable impressionist.
When Peter, at that shiny gate, condemns those souls who imitate.
He will but shake a heavenly fist and curse condemned impressionists.
But till that time, we'll tolerate The good-for-nothing reprobate.
And hide the truth that we're just pissed that we can't be impressionists. Oh.
That's better.
Beautiful, beautiful. But he does the old man fist where he lifts a knuckle up. I'll give you a knuckle sandwich. I'll give you a knuckle sandwich, you young lad. That might be because of their arthritis, but it might be because back in the day they used to throw a little knuckle out there to penetrate first. But damn! But that would break your fucking finger, wouldn't it? That would definitely break your phalange. So it must be arthritis. Old people are great. Don't get me wrong. I've talked a lot of shit about old people, but they're great. They just don't know how to drive. They don't know how to shake a fist. They also don't accept new ideas. Other than that, they're all right. What is this? Oh, this is a guy I discovered today, actually. His name is Todd Higg Fleming from Ireland. It says creator of Bat Dad, but that's not true. At least not the Bat Dad we all know. He's this dude. He's got about 10K subscribers. So he's small on the platform, but he's much bigger than me. But he's got some funny shit, and this is just one of the funny things. His dog locked. I'll just show you.
Oh, this is after locking me out of the car. Ah, stop. And look here, lad, there's an audience as well. Good boy, Otis. Press it for daddy. Good, that's it, press it. Press it. The car is on.
Yep.
What are you looking at? T?
What are you looking at? Okay, so his dog locked him in. He locked him out of the car while the car was running. I've had a dog once do this exact thing to me. You know, I was gonna take the dog for a trip to the pet store to get some dog stuff, and I put him in. I started the truck. I closed the door because I had to go back in to get some stuff. Come back out, all the doors are locked. Truck is running. Dog is in the vehicle, so I'm like, fuck. But I did not react as calmly as this guy. I was very upset, and I was banging on the window. I was like, get over here and step on the lock. And he just wouldn't. So I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do now? Not only were my car keys in the car while the car's running and the car's locked, my house keys were on that keychain. So when I went back inside to get my stuff, I locked the door, shut it, came back out. Now I'm locked out of my house and my vehicle while my vehicle's running, and there's a dog in there. It was not hot outside, luckily, and even if it was, the air conditioner would have been on because the vehicle was running. So I was like, what the fuck am I going to do now? I can break into my house easily. I've done it before, but that's not going to solve my issue because my spare car keys are at my parents' house. Luckily, we live in such a small town, only a mile wide, and it wasn't a far walk to get there. So I walked all the way over there, grabbed the set of keys, and I got a ride back, opened the truck up, and away I went. But that, when stuff happens to me like that, it puts me in such a shite mood, and it takes me a while to bounce back because I am a puss.
Good boy, oh, that's it. Good. Press the thing. Press the thing. Press the button. Press the button.
And this guy's button is right in the middle of his console there. You'll see.
Oh. Sorry, do you know a mechanic around the place? Good night last night. The horns are twisting your head, but we'll get out of it. Any of you, come here now. You. Anyone? Nah, you're all talk. None of you fucking help. Otis, will you let me into the car, please? What? Thank God I didn't fix this window. Oh shit, the thing has got in. OT, press the button there for Dad. Good boy. That's it. Press it. Press it. Good boy. Press it. Back a bit. Back a bit. Good boy. Could you use your arms there to burst through the door? OT, come here. Good boy. Come here. Good boy. Press it. Press it. Come on. Come here. Oh, why'd you go that way? Good boy. Come here. Come on. Go this way.
I hope this music isn't copywritten.
Press it. Ozzy, come here, baby. Good boy, come here.
To run from left to right
We're going to keep running over and back until you press it.
until he presses it. For those listening,
Come on, Ozzy. Press it. Press it. Yes.
did it.
Yes! Ozzy! You did it! Good boy! We're back in it. You did it. Good boy, Ozzy. Good boy. You did it. You also locked me out of the fucking car.
Okay. Well, the dog has no idea what he's getting praised for. He also locked me out of the fucking car. It was the Canadian Thanksgiving this past weekend. So I got a lot of leftover hindkinds. So I'm just... Can't waste, right? Drink them. Because Janice didn't give me enough water. So I'm out of water and I'm out of Heineken. Janice! I'm out of fluid. I need to stay hydrated. I just drank a big bowl of beer. You gotta give me some water. Halloween month. Halloween. It's Spooktober, everyone. Whoa! Ah, shit. Now, I wasn't planning on doing the colorful lights today because it just looks stupid. But I'm supposed to have that light turned off. And I left it on. Whatever. At least it's not one of those yellow lights that change color. And by if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you have one of those regular old-fashioned bulbs that are just like the bulb shape with the twisty wires inside, and they're yellow, okay? You flick one of those on, and you press record on a camera. No matter how long you record, whether it's 1 minute or 10 minutes, you'll notice the lights will dim and get brighter and change color. Like they're not constant like an LED. So if you probably won't be using those lights because we live in 2019 and we're almost in 2020 and we've gone past that point. We're not fucking Slumdog Millionaires. I couldn't think of another word. We're not peasants. But I know when I was a child, we were peasants. I lived in the peasant era. And we didn't have access to LED lights like this. We did. But I didn't have any because I was a child. And I couldn't just say, Mother, can I have a different light? And to even say that to my mother wouldn't even come across my brain because lighting was the last thing I was thinking about when creating these videos. All I wanted to do was film it, edit it, upload it. You know, because that's what a child wants. They just want to get it done. Like, yeah, I don't like work. Just give me the product so I can put it out there and make other people laugh. So you want to laugh again for the spook month of Spooktober? Plan B, inside the uterus. Okay, for those listening to this half of the podcast is very visual. I should have said that. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more videos to watch. Okay? So if you're listening on SoundCloud or Spotify or somewhere, I suggest you go to youtube.com/DynamiteGizmo film and watch. You dig? Because this shit's funny. You want to if you find scaring children funny, like I do, then you'll find this funny. And these aren't any children. These are children of the corn. Okay, if I was a child, for one, I would instantly shit my pants. No matter what age I was. If I was classified as a child, I would shit my pants first thing. And cry next. Cry and shit at the same time. And then instant panic. I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. Even now seeing that scares me. I couldn't imagine what I'd be thinking as a child. Because that is a scary costume. Like, you can tell the head is below the neck level of whatever that creature is. Like, look, let's scroll through this. Like, just watch how it runs at this part. And this girl here in the pink, like, she is frightened. Or maybe, I don't know. It just looks like the head is like down in here, and this is just kind of all up above. Like, doesn't it seem like that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. What is this anyway? Is this something kids do in Africa or wherever, India, wherever they are? Did that just come across as racist? I don't even know. But we need the audience to follow the account. Of course you do. What is with these people? Nobody's post a video or a photo. It goes viral. They instantly go to the comments section and say, follow me here, check out my art, blah blah bloopity. I get it, okay? I understand why they do it. You get a bunch of viewership, obviously you're going to try to promote your shit. But still, like, what the you know? I guess I get it. Well, you know what? It's alright. I guess I get it. I would do the same thing. But still, it's just weird. It's like, imagine doing this in real life, not on the internet. Like, I don't know. Maybe you make a cool sculpture and you put it out on your front lawn, and like 10,000 people show up in your front lawn and they're looking at it. And then you just go, whoa. I wasn't expecting that. I don't even make sculptures. Hey, all you people, check out my guitar. I can play guitar. Buy my out. Like, it's just weird. The people are like, I didn't come here to hear your stupid guitar. I came here because you made this sculpture. He's like, I don't make sculptures. I play guitar. I just made this. I was drunk and horny, and I made this sculpture, and then people notice it. But I'm a guitar player. You should know me for my guitar. It's not genuine. You gotta let people find your, whatever your creative thing is, organically. They gotta discover it and realize themselves that they like it. You can't say, hey, check my stuff out. Tell me if you like it or not. Because then they're going into it thinking, they have to want to experience it, right? They're not wanting to experiencing it. They're experiencing it because they're doing a kind thing to help a brother out. But if you're, happen to be scrolling through certain guitar riffs that you like, and then you stumble upon his guitar and you say, wow, I kind of like this, then that's a whole different experience. It changes the way you view the thing. It's just like when your best friend is like, hey, I need you to check out this song. I fucking love it. I discovered it last night. Well, they discovered it, but they're shoving it in your face. And it might be the greatest song on the planet, and you may love it. But it will never be as good as it would have been if you would have discovered it yourself and stumbled upon it. Really, those first impressions are so important. Because when they're shoving it, when your friend's shoving it in your face, say, check it, it's so good, you gotta hear this! Then you instantly want to back off and say, whoa, dude, you're smothering me. So it's all part of it. It's all part of it. Tom Segura posted this. A doctor is explaining to the camera about the patient behind him. Okay, there's a patient on the stretcher in the hospital room, and the doctor's in the foreground, and he's like, hey, yo, so when she gets sober and whatnot, she can make these decisions. I can't remember what he says. But the girl gets up, and it's funny. Watch. That was for the listeners. I had to explain that.
Give her some sedative to make her relax until such time.
I don't want no fucking
metabolizes
sedative.
her
I
ethanol.
want out.
And when she's sober, she'll probably be able to make better decisions.
I am
Clean herself up.
sober, you motherfucking piece of shit.
That's gotta be a
Give her some
soundbite, man.
sedative to
I
make her
am
relax
sober,
until such
motherfucking piece of shit. Yeah. And you can kind of tell the doctor puts a little slight smirk on his face at the end. He's trying to hold back his laughter. And I wish he would have just laughed. Because he's trying to be all professional. Like, I see this all the time. Okay. She's obviously delirious. And she's not herself right now, so I can't laugh at what she's saying. And I love how she kind of just sits up. Like Dracula in the coffin. It looks like she's strapped in. Let's watch this again.
Give her some sedative to make her relax until such time.
I don't want no fucking
Metabolizes
sedative.
her
I
ethanol.
want out.
And when she's sober, she'll probably be able to make better decisions.
I am
Clean herself up.
sober, you motherfucking piece of shit.
See? And,
Give her
you
some-
know, it looks like he's about to crack a little smile at the end. Oops.
Sober, you motherfucking piece of shit.
See? A little slight smile cracks right there. I don't know. I would laugh if I was in his position. I really would. Or maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe he really does see this every day, and he's just sick of it. That's probably what's going on here. That guy's just sick of it. You motherfucking piece of shit. That's definitely a soundbite. That is 100%. Oops. Come on. Oh, this is a great one. This is a good one. How long have we been going here? 1 hour and 4 minuets. Woohoo! Someone posted a video of footage from their parents' wedding. Now the footage looks old, like it was filmed on a VHS camera. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I think if this might be fake. Unless they're just filming. Okay, so let me just explain what's happening. So there's like just a Twitter video. I don't see TikTok anywhere on the screen, so I don't think it's a TikTok. Just a Twitter video of a guy recording his television screen. And on the television screen is his parents' wedding. And I guess during the final cut, whoever was in charge of editing, the videographer, he intercut a clip from Kermit and Miss Piggy's wedding into the final cut of the wedding video, so it looks like the audience is the Muppets. It's a nice cut. It works, but it's apparent. I guess it's because the caption says, "My parents' wedding videographer intercut a clip from Kermit and Miss Piggy's wedding into their service without asking." A bunch of question marks. And then in the text on the screen, which looks like it's from a Snapchat, now that I see that, their videographer just added this in without consulting. Okay, and it says just added this in. Just added this in without consulting. There's no way it was just added in. Unless they... maybe they reformatted it to from VHS to DVD or something. And when he did that, he added Miss Piggy in there. Because this seems like something that was done in the past, and he discovered it, and he's trying to make it something new. You know, something that would go viral today. Unless this person put the Miss Piggy and Kermit scene in himself. And he's making it seem like it just happened. There's all kinds of things that could be going wrong here, but let's just assume it's real and laugh. I'm always fucking skeptical about these, because so many of them are fake. Is that great? Now look, if this was my wedding video, I don't plan on getting married, at least not now in my life, but if I were to get married and the fucking guy in charge of filming did this shit, I wouldn't even care, to be honest. That is amazing. If it was just that and nothing else, like, if he started fucking around with the whole thing, then I'd be upset. But just a little... a little cut of the audience, which is what you're expecting anyway. But it's the fucking Muppets audience. Now that's golden. I would let that slide. I would let that slide. Look at this. To use this video in a commercial player or in broadcasts, please email licensing@storyful.com. I'm sold out, and I'm proud. And, of course, the obligatory plugs. Man, I can't believe how stuffy my nose is. It just won't go away. It's fucking Canada. And the cold weather's rolling in. All the leaves are on the ground. And then before you know it, it's going to be so unbearably cold that you struggle to go outside. I hate das Winter here in Alberta. Really anywhere in Canada other than Vancouver. Or British Columbia, I should say. British Columbia is cool because out there, you know, it barely snows. It mostly just rains all winter. Which I love the rain. I'm sure I'd get sick of it having it every day, but at least I wouldn't have the unbelievably brutally cold winter. Because no matter how cold it gets in the US, it's fucking 10 times that cold up here in Canada in the winter. It's just too cold, man. I hate it. And I gotta work outside in it. I have to dig into the frozen ground. That's as far as I'm going with that. I keep forgetting I don't want to talk about what I do for work. Oh, I did do this one. I didn't even remember. Okay. There's a SpongeBob episode, old classic SpongeBob episode. No, it wasn't a Halloween one. It was the chocolate episode. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was. SpongeBob was selling chocolate door to door for... I don't even remember why. But there was this old lady who had her mother in a wheelchair, and her mother was just like a spine and a skull. A dirty brown skull and a dirty brown spine in a wheelchair. And she wanted chocolate. And someone cosplayed it.
very much. They can't talk. Thank you, darling.
Got chocolate. Got chocolate. He's selling chocolate.
You're selling chocolate?
He's selling chocolate.
I can't hear you.
He's selling chocolate. Yeah.
Oh, I remember when they first invented chocolate. Sweet chocolate. I always hated it. Thank you very much.
Oliver. Those are actual lines from the episode, I think. I remember when they invented chocolate. I always hated it. They're selling chocolate. They're selling chocolate. I hated. Well, I didn't. No, I loved SpongeBob. I say that a lot, and I will continue to say it. SpongeBob SquarePants. Bob Le Punge. The French version. Because everything in Canada has a French version. Any product you buy, whatever is written on English on the packaging is also written in French underneath it or on the flip side. And me and my friends would get a big kick out of Bob Le Punge. That's how you say SpongeBob in French. Bob Le Punge. Bob Le Punge. Bob Le Punge. How come things in America don't have the Spanish translation right underneath it? Or do they? It's just all English, isn't it? Anglais! Maybe down in, like, the southern states that are right on the border of Mexico have it. I don't know, but I've been told. Albuquerque is where Jesse Pinkman. But that's not where he was when he left with the El Camino. Or was he? I don't know. This is an old video. When the Jungle Cruise gets way too real. Don't you just love tour guides? Sometimes they go a little bit overboard. Sometimes they're not, you know, they're too monotone. And other times they're just perfect in the middle. And then there's people that are just fantastic. And people that are garbage. And this guy falls in the fantastic. I got hiccups. Category. What if I just have a heart attack on this episode? Or one of these episodes? That'd be the best way. This is a good tour guide.
It looks like the hippos are gonna attack the boat, but I'm gonna scare them off like I did my last relationship. I love you! It looks like the...
Now, some people might say, well, that was as cheesy as it gets. If you didn't hear him, he said, sometimes these hippos like to attack, but I'm gonna scare them away like I did in my last relationship. And then he looks out the side of the boat and screams, I love you! And of course all the grandmas are the first to laugh. Now that I think about it, how would I react if I was on that fucking boat? Why do I gotta question everything? I'm sure I would laugh. Why not? Yeah, I'd laugh. Because I'd be having a good time. There's a TikTok as well. TikTok on my cock. 1 minute 15, right on the niggity nose. Whoops, careful what you say. You didn't say it, but you were close to saying it. This is proof that scooters aren't for everyone. Okay, so in the city, I'm running out of fuel here. Like, we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. And I'm getting hangry. It's hangry time. Yeah, it's definitely hangry time. Cities have these scoots now. They're called, what are they called? Birds or something? There's a few different brands. I don't know if Canada has them. I don't live in a big city, and I rarely go to one. Not for lack of trying, by the way. I would much rather live in a city than this piece of shit of a town. But I'm sure Vancouver has these in Toronto and maybe Calgary. And there's these scooters you pay and you can scoot around wherever you want and park it wherever you want. Or maybe they have specific parking. I don't know. But we got old folks who have never, they didn't grow up on skateboards or scooters or things with wheels in general. The only wheels they had was the ones that were towed behind the horse. So they decide, I'm going to be hip with it. And I'm going to hop on one of these scooters, and then you get accidents. And then that's when they get rid of these things, because too many old folks are trying to do shit that they shouldn't be doing. Right after I said I'm cool with old people. Well, they have some flaws, okay? They have a lot of flaws. And this is one of them. We got a confident old woman. Well, she's not even that old, okay? She's middle-aged. I should stop calling her old. She's middle-aged. Still, her balance is fucked right off the get-go. She has problems in her inner ear. She needs to get an ear operation. She shouldn't be on this thing. And she should have figured that out in the beginning rather than keep trying. Let's just watch. Here she goes. So first off, she can't even stand on it. She gets on it, gets off. Gets on it, gets off. Scoots, pushes herself, even though it's electric. Almost barrels into traffic. But here, you think she's got it at this point, right? Well, you're a bit wobbly, and bam! A little bit of a speed wobble, even though she was only going 2 kilometers an hour. And she smacks the ground, hits her head. How many more middle-aged women are going to break their noggins before they ban these things? And I'm all for people hurting themselves on these things. I just don't want to see them go. I want them to stay. Because when shit like this happens, the first thing the HR department says is, we got to get rid of it. Let's just get rid of it. We were fine without it before, so let's get rid of it. Rather than coming up with a solution like maybe mandatory helmet and elbow pads. Which, if that was the case, then that's shitty as well. So no matter what you try to do to innovate in this world, when someone gets hurt, they have to implement some other stupid safety aspect of it. But what they should do is just, when you open up the app and accept the terms and services, they should have somewhere in there, if you get hurt in any form or die in any way on the scooter, we are not liable. You hit accept. Good to go. Survival of the fittest. Let her die. 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 Did you see what that said? Well, I don't want you to, okay? Last one I want to show. This is another older one. Not that old, but it's a few weeks old. Okay, which is old for the internet's sake. If you want to make a video about a specific hot topic on the internet, you better get it up that day. Or if not, fucking within the next 12 hours of that day and that event being over. Because, shit, man, things move on so fast. And there's a specific window of time where people are going to be searching for those items. And, once something new comes out, if you didn't get it in, you're missing out. You're still going to get a good opportunity to have success, but you missed a large chunk. And I'm not saying I'm good at getting stuff out there right away. But, you shoot for the stars. Have you ever been to a CPR class or a first aid class that teaches CPR? Or have you ever watched the episode of The Office where Dwight cuts the face off and puts the skin on his face and cuts the chest open? All that stuff, okay? It's funny. Just having a dummy to mess around with is good comic humor. I actually have some sort of weird fear of mannequins. Just putting that out there. I saw one the other day outside the liquor store. It wasn't a mannequin. It was like a scarecrow style of mannequin, like just the body and the flannel shirt filled with hay, the jeans filled with hay, and it had the work boots on and some gloves and a pumpkin head and a cowboy hat, okay? Now looking at that, from your peripherals, it looks like just a guy sitting there. Because it's got the shape of a human, but when you look at it, it's not human. It's in that uncanny valley. And that uncanny valley freaks the fuck out of me. Like, even when I'm in retail stores and they have mannequins with clothes on, I don't want to go near them because I'm scared they're going to jump out at me for some reason. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but this is a video of of a guy in a CPR class. I don't know. It's just funny. Let's just watch.
Let's go.
Excuse me.
The girl goes, "Excuse me."
Let's go.
Excuse me.
I love that. Just a quick little slap in the face and then back to the compressions. And you see the instructor like, "Hey, no, excuse me." Watch.
Let's go.
Excuse me. Okay.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. She goes, "They're not toys, okay?" I hate that. Like, fuck you, bitch. Like, he's an adult man, okay? You think, like, he didn't destroy the fucking thing. He gave it a little slap to make the audience laugh. He's got an audience. What do you expect? You expect him not to slap the dummy in the head? Like, just giggle with him for a bit here. Be like, "Ah, funny, ah." But seriously, these are like $400 a piece, so, you know, maybe don't smack them around. Let's use them as they're intended, asshole. Listen to her again. He slaps it, and I don't think she says no. Someone else is like, "No!" And then she's like, "Excuse me, sir. This is not a toy."
Let's go.
Excuse me. They're not toys. Okay.
Excuse me, they're not toys, okay? They're not toys, okay? They're not fucking toys! Even though I play with it every night. That's what she's saying. You can't hear it, but I can hear fucking vehicles out there. Racing, like Tokyo Drift. That's what they sound like. That's what mine sounds like.
Did rednecks kill your folks?
Remember that one? That's an oldie. But a goodie. Guess what, people? We just did an hour and 24 minutes, 25 minutes of nothing. Congratulations! Congratulations! Talked about El Camino for like 40 minutes and then watched some nice videos. And I still got leftovers for next episode. Woohoo! I forgot to say the line. It's tradition around here to show you the card, but it's not tradition to show you what's on the card. Whoops! Sorry, Janice. It's not your job to care anyway, Janice. Janice! You suck. Well, that's it for this episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and do whatever you want. But just hit that bell. You got it? That's the one thing you got to do. But also subscribe and like it. You don't have to leave a comment, but do all that other stuff. Please. I beg of you. If you're a YouTuber, You gotta beg on your hands and knees like a homeless peasant. Should I say that? Is that not allowed? Are we that? You gotta beg like a beggar. You gotta. Why every YouTuber does it? Why do they do it? And why am I jumping on the bandwagon? I don't know. Just fucking do it, okay? No, don't do it if you don't want to. I'm not telling you to do it. Don't do it. No, I'm not actually telling you not to do it. Don't hit the subscribe button. Whatever you do not hit the subscribe button. Do not hit the bell. Do not like, but do comment. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone! Bitch, give me my hamster back. So it doesn't look like she's even using spray paint.